We have made it through another week. Even though this week wasn't the best of weeks, still a positive week. And the only way we kept it positive was to stick to our strategy, stick to our process, and we were able to make it through. We're still on the positive end, and I do not plan to give it all back today. So we'll trade smart like we do every day. And if the day is not shaping up, if the market is not there, we will shut it down and sit on our hands. That's what pro traders do. Professional traders do not sit here and try to trade every day, all day long. They know when the opportunity is there and they seize it. When it's not, they sit on their hands and they preserve their capital. And that's what we try to do, day in and day out. So, have a quick question for you this morning. Are you showing up? Now, the reason why I asked that, it's been a study where 75% of life success comes from just showing up. Just showing up, just being in the game. Now, obviously, you're going to have to do more once you get there, but just showing up is half the battle. So, are you showing up every day? Are you coming in? Or are you just cutting it on and just kind of doing something else? Are you actually here in the market with us? So you have to make sure that you show up. That's the first step in being successful in this industry, is you have to show up and you have to be in it. Next, you have to believe. You have to believe in yourself, and you have to believe that you're going to be successful. You can't let other people's opinions and other people's thoughts discourage you or put you down. You can't have any doubt creep into your mind, because if you're here, you have to be ready to play the game. If you get knocked down, you got to get back up and you got to keep going. And you can't quit. You have to go all the way to the end. You have to play through it. You have to play through the pain. You have to play through the disappointment. You have to play through the struggles. I don't know how many of you watch sports, but I'm the type person that I always like pulling for the underdog, because the underdog, when they're fighting, they have belief. They showed up for the game, even though they may be a 24-point underdog, and people are like, why do we even play the game? But they prove and they show that the main reason why they play the game. They fight. I was watching the Missouri game yesterday, the SEC championship. I'm a South Carolina guy. I live right here in Columbia, so I'm a USC fan, been all my life. Been a Gamecock fan. And if you know the Gamecocks, that's a struggle. But and we're in the SEC, so I've kind of followed the SEC. And I was watching the tournament, and Missouri was down. They were picked to finish in the bottom of the conference, and Missouri was playing Auburn, and they were down like double digits, and there was only like a few minutes left to play in the game, and these guys didn't quit. They believed that they could win. They had that belief, and they didn't quit. They played through all of the disappointing shots that they made, all of the missed shots, all of the turnovers, all of the steals. They played through all of that, and they believed in themselves. They believed that they could win. And I see that in a lot of the games I watch. And that's what I like to see. That's what inspires me. And it's not that I just see it, I live it. You know, I was that person growing up that when something got hard or something got tough, in my mind, it wasn't meant to be. So I quit. I just stopped and I started doing something else because, you know, I felt it wasn't for me if it wasn't easy. If it didn't come easy, it wasn't meant to be. And that mentality limited my growth and limited my potential most of my adult life. And until I decided that if I'm going to show up, that I'm going to play the game. And I'm going to play through the disappointments. I'm going to play through the pain. I'm going to play through, you know, in trading. It was all of the bad trades I had, all of the losing trades, all of the struggles I had. I I traded through that. And now I'm at a point where I can share everything that I learned. I can give you, I'm not here just to inspire you. I'm here to show you that it can be done and what you have to do to get there and what you have to get from yourself to make it to that next level. So you want to make sure you show up. That's 75% of it right there. But you have to believe, and you're going to have to trade through these pitfalls because there are going to be some bumps and bruises and twists and turns in the road while you're learning this. You know, but if you believe and you have faith in yourself, you're going to make it through. You just have to keep trade. You have to trade through it, and you have to believe in yourself. All right, so let's see what's happening this morning. Oh, let's see, FNSR. Let's take a look at it. I was looking at this earlier for possible pre-market setup, but the last 2 weeks or so, the pre-market setups haven't been following through, and that's normal. It happens. You just have to know when it's time to give up on it and wait until it comes back. You have to know when it's time to say, okay, it's not working right now. The market has changed, and we need to wait for it to come back. And to give you an example, let's look at FNSR right now on the 5 minute. All right, and you see, this is the setup that I like to trade here, pre-market. I like to trade a gap down. We lose VWAP, come back and test it, and fail it, and I take the short on the fail. And you see, we did, but we're not getting any follow through. And this has been happening for the last couple of weeks. So I laid off of it for a while. I tried it yesterday with TLRD, and you see it didn't follow through. So I'm just laying off of it for another week or so, and unless I see things started to turn around and we can get what we need to get out of it. So I'm not going to be trading pre-market. And that's part of what we have to do is identify when the market conditions change and our strategies are not working. We either have to sit on our hands or we have to adapt. It's one or the other. Now, this thing can definitely work. We can definitely start moving down and wash out. But odds are it's not going to do it. It still has about a 30% chance of doing it, but I'm not willing to trade on that 30% chance. I like to stack the odds in my favor that the trade is going to do what the chart is telling me it's going to do. So still we'll have this on watch. Let me look at the daily chart on this. We'll still most likely have this on watch. Okay, we are trading 28.55. So we've gapped down pretty significantly here. Let's see. Doubt if we'll get into that gap today. But this is 26.32. Let me mark it. 26.32. That's going to be the daily 200. Is there anything else in here that I missed? Haha, it just made one of those patented pre-market shakeout moves that it's been doing. See here, it started washing. I mean, it started selling off below this level here. And then, bam, it got bought right back up. It got down to like 28.55. And this is why I just stay away from this right now. It's just not worth trading it when the price action and the way it's acting pre-market. But I'm looking for it to eventually fail, and here's a window that I want to catch it in right here. This one right here. You can see yesterday evening we kind of bottomed out right here. So I'm looking for it to, do that today. Making the morning move. If not, maybe it'll do it throughout the day, but that's the move that I'm looking for right now. So let's see who's next. ARE, I think, I think I looked at this before. I think I saw that this was a common offering. Yeah, public offering of common stock. Yeah. Redemption of Series E preferred stock. Yeah, I'm not so much interested in this. I bet this gap down and kind of flatlines. Let's take a look at it and see. Oh yeah. Yep, gap down and pretty much flatline. There may be, I mean, there's some scalping opportunities in here, but this isn't the price action that I really like to trade. Because here's a low of 107.60. Nah, it's a tight range. Not much, not even much scalping there. But ARE is a public offering, so don't want to trade it. SBGI, if I'm not mistaken, I recognize that must be a 5 cent ticker. Let's double check. Yep, 5 cent. It's a 5 cent tick stop. So not interested in it. All right. In Dish, let's see what's up with Dish. I've got Dish Network. Filed 8K regulation at the financial disclosure and exhibits. Let me see what it looks like. May not be worth much. Oh, we had a pretty nice gap down. We'll wait and see at open how this thing shakes out. This isn't the price action I'd like to trade pre-market. So, plus we've got a 10-cent spread on it. Not much activity beyond this. So let's take a look at the daily level. Let's see what it looks like from the daily perspective here. So we're trading around 62.50. See, we got some moving averages here. 62.28. That would be the 20-day. And 61.32 is a 50-day. It's the 50-day, which is yellow. Mm. Yeah, let me go back and see if there's anything else over here I need to be concerned with. Looks like to the upside, we've got more traffic than anything else. All right. Let's take a look at the 5-minute. Yeah, we've got some pretty nice windows, and we got another big window from 62.28 below this. So this has some, looks like it does have some nice opportunities. All right, so I'm gonna have FNSR and CAT. Oh, I am gonna have CAT on my watch, so I'm gonna show you why. FNSR, DISH, and CAT. Let's look at it real quick. I'm gonna show you what I'm looking at it for. Okay, the last 2 days has given us opportunities. Now I've caught secondary moves and I've got a little piece of this. But had I done what I wanted to do, which was swing trade this, I'm trying to remove that drawing. if I could swing trade this, I'd have been sitting pretty. But the way they kept bouncing this stock back up, I didn't like it. Now the news, I'm telling you, when your company is accused of tax fraud, I mean massive tax fraud, and you've been doing some dealings with offshore accounts and all of that, you're in big trouble. And you know the infrastructure speech that Trump gave that really supports companies like this, even all of that really shouldn't be holding this up. So I think it's still up on air. I mean, I've done a lot of research on this company, and this was one that we used to trade when I was in school because we dealt with automotive engineering and anything automotive or transportation related, we studied. I studied as I just brought it into my class. And this it should have been doing this from the beginning. And we should be well into the 80s by now, but it just didn't. But I'm gonna have it on watch today because it continues to give us good moves. And until this slows down, I want to catch some. Like yesterday, I caught the secondary move, but I missed this big rundown. I missed this bounce because I didn't have this chart up every day, all day long. I just brought it up when it hit my scan. Look at this. All day trend continuation trade. All day. And all I got was a little piece of this move. So I'm going to keep this on watch, and as long as it continues to be in play, because there are some heavy hitters actually playing this, then it's going to stay in place. So I'm going to keep this chart up today, because if there's some more big moves in it, I don't want to miss it. And I'll more or less go in with a small position size and just let it try to work all day, just like it's been doing here over the last couple of days. So that would be my plan for CAT. I doubt if it'll set up at the open. It might. It might set up and give me an opening range trade, but I'm more or less looking for the long-term trend continuation on this. So on my watch, I've got FNSR. I've got DISH, which has recovered some of the gap down, which is why it's not on this anymore. But I do have it on watch. And CAT. Those are the three I have on watch. So you guys that are going to be leaving me, have a good Friday. Remember, if there are no moves out there, if you don't have any solid setups, don't give back with the money that you made this week. Or if you're in the hole, don't dig a deeper hole, because we can always reset. Now we're in the last couple of weeks of the first quarter. Your first quarter might not have gone the way you wanted it to. You may not have gotten what you wanted out of it. But April is a fresh start. So what you can do is you can start preparing now for the new quarter. You can start doing the things now that you know you need to work on, the improvements you need to make right now, so that when fourth quarter hits, you're going to be well on your way to reaching your goals for that second quarter when April hits. My first quarter was a little slower, obviously because of all of the turnover that happened right at the beginning of the year, but I'm finishing it strong. And I'm making sure that I'm setting myself up and preparing myself so that when the fourth quarter hits, I'm going to be ready to go. In the fourth quarter, my goal is to start trading with the $5,000 account like I was before. And I'm at it. I've got it. I just don't want to lose it now. We started January with 1,500 bucks. I've got my 5 grand now. Through all of the turmoil, twists and turns, and roadblocks I ran into this first quarter, we reached our goals. So I plan on taking some money out at the end of this month so that I'll be back at 5 grand. I'm anxious to try out this new SureTrader debit card I've got to see how well this works. All before I would just do the bank wire deal. This is supposed to be when you request it, you should have your money within hours on your card. So we'll see. We'll see how that goes. But you guys take it easy. Have a good day. Remember, trade for skill. When we're first learning, we're learning the skill of trading. The skill is going to sustain us. The money's going to be there. I show that every day in chat. Every day I trade for skill. I'm not looking at my P&L. I may get stopped out. I know how much I've lost. I know what my max loss is. But I don't look at my P&L because the minute you look at that number, you give it power over you. And the last thing you want to do is give it power over your trading. So you're trading for the skill, nailing your profit targets on your chart, sticking to your stops, and just following your process. So have a good Friday. You guys have a great weekend, and we will see you back here bright and early Monday morning.